Welcome back to Reno Rumble Week 2. This week our teams have moved to the outer suburbs of Melbourne. The Eastern Blues took over the house of Christine and David in Mill Park. A truly inspiring couple with a heart-wrenching past, having lost 3 children to tragic car accidents.
There's that part of you that still thinks you're going to wake up and it's a bad dream and it's not, you know, it's not reality.
When daughter Nicole was left with catastrophic brain injuries from her crash 6 years ago, Christine and David became carers for Nicole and her son Blake. Then, just a few weeks ago, Nicole passed away suddenly. Last week, the Blues were a mess, their house ripe with distrust and infighting.
So I've had a gut full of her.
I can't do it anymore.
But hearing Christine and David's story had a profound impact on the Blue team.
So heartbreaking. Sad. To lose your whole family. So let's go!
They put their differences aside and focused on what was important, getting the best possible result for David, Christine and their grandson Blake. The Western Reds moved into the home of firefighter Chris and paramedic Kate. They're close friends of Christine and David and nominated them for Reno Rumble. This couple's self-sacrifice of dedicating their time to helping others has left their house in a sorry state.
I think we need to run a bobcat right through the whole thing, don't we?
Just open it right up.
We won't get any complaints out of us.
But transforming this maze of walls into open-plan living came at a cost.
We're running behind.
I want to show you something.
Blue team's basically about a day ahead of us. We are so far behind, it's scary.
And with Dane and Leanne having immunity, the pressure was on the other 2 couples to stay in the game.
If Blue House finish a house and we don't, you and Jimmy or Holly and Steve are going home.
We are in trouble.
Tonight, it's the final push to get these houses over the line. Then our homeowners can finally get to see their new homes. Oh, wow. And Judgment Day.
What happened?
Where one couple will be going home.
You were just like... I was like, go on.
It's the day before reveal and a beautiful morning. There's balloons in the sky, rowers on the river, joggers in the park, dogs playing. But over at beautiful Christine and David's house in Mill Park, the Eastern Blues are in slow-mo. They've been up all night spray painting the entire house, but are confident it's all been worth it, giving them an easy run into reveal.
We are sort of ahead of the game now. We'll give it a quick clean, mop, and we'll be a day ahead.
So it's a quick trip back to base camp for these human paintbrushes to rinse and wring out.
La, la, la.
Before returning for Builder Simo's high praises.
Thought we were going to have a nice cruisy day.
But Simo's not happy. He's removed all the protection from the floors and windows, and it seems their spray job last night was an epic fail.
We turned up and Simo pulled us all inside as a team and pretty much just told us to open our eyes.
Stand over here and look at this ceiling.
It's a dog's breakfast.
You're not even close to where you thought you were.
The paint job, oh my God, where do we start? It was buggered.
I think just when the natural light hit into the room, it just showed how bad the spray job was.
The house looked like a bomb hit it with a spray gun.
It was just too rushed and we didn't actually think about rolling it first. It's patchy, it's lumpy, it needs to be sanded and it needs to be rolled. All of it, ceiling and walls. We just don't have time to be painting again.
A massive setback.
And now we've got less than 24 hours.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Let's go.
Everything needs to be re-rolled, sanded back, re-rolled.
It's going to be all night.
Yeah. We're talking too much, we just got to get in and do it.
was a huge kick in the guts.
A few suburbs over at firefighter Chris and paramedic Kate's house in Viewbank, the red team have been working in shifts.
Just rolling in flour this morning. Jimmy and I together in a big tub of flour.
The girls and Dane are sleeping in back at base camp after taping up till late. Steve and Jimmy have woken early to get stuck into the paintwork.
The girls had masked up, and then we just ended up with 2 machines absolutely smashing it out.
And when the shift workers arrived this morning, they're pleasantly surprised.
Boy, hey, Jimmy.
That's awesome.
Well done.
Thank you.
They may not have painted the whole house like the Blues, but they've got 2 coats on all the main living areas so the trades can get in and fit off this morning.
They've absolutely smashed it and really caught us back up, because if they hadn't done that, we would have been in strike tonight, I think.
Fantastic. God, they're good. They're bloody good.
Absolutely amazing.
It's been a slow start to the week, but the Reds are finally starting to pull it together. Leanne and Dane's dining and living room is painted, and with the tiles going down in their master bathroom, they're looking good.
I'm really, really excited to see what the judges have to say, to be honest. And although we don't have everything in there quite yet, I can almost picture it in my head.
House captains Hayley and Jimmy's kids' bedroom still needs paint, but their kitchen's now ready for Freedom to finish the install.
Kitchen is coming together. Bryce is pumping it out, which is awesome.
But for Holly and Steve, it's a different story.
And this is still wet.
They've got the master bedroom, walk-in robe and ensuite. And with the homeowners being shift workers, making these areas work so they can enter each room without disturbing one another took valuable time. Now the walls are finally in place, they desperately need some attention.
Our area is coming together. It's just slower than every other area.
I guess they might be feeling the heat a little bit, but because we are quite far in front, that just gives us the opportunity to get in there and to help them to make sure the team gets over the line.
But right now, it's sleep time for Steve and Jimmy. So builder Aiden helps them to bed.
I'll be small spoon.
We put some mattresses upstairs, and then Aiden came up and read us a bedtime story, which was probably one of my biggest dreams that came true, because Aiden's got such a dulcet tone. What do you mean by that?
After a rainy day, the yard was full of puddles. Dizzy was fed up. Please, can we go out and play, she asked Bob. Hang on, said Dane. I'll go get Farmer Pickles.
Kid you not, he absolutely knocked us out. I don't actually remember him leaving, so yeah, it was good.
Fell flat on his face and bent his nose. Has anyone got a new parsnip? The end. Bloody night, boys.
Coming up, as the countdown begins, the threat of elimination comes closer and pressure reaches fever pitch.
Come quickly. That was the worst thing that could have ever happened.
Later, our homeowners are welcomed to their new homes.
That is just beautiful.
Then, judgment time.
This is an emotional and a decorative flatline.
It's mid-afternoon, the day before reveal. While Jimmy and Steve are dreaming away upstairs, a nightmare is brewing downstairs. Because they've spent so much time on the entire house, their own areas are falling behind. Steve and Holly's bedroom is deserted.
We've realised that in both weeks, our rooms have been left till last.
I spend all my time throughout the whole house getting everyone to a certain point, which leaves our room falling behind because I'm not in there.
I don't know, it's hard to tell whether they're in trouble yet. Interesting aspect, I guess, is that Steve's ducked off for a power nap, which could put him in trouble, because they were up all night spraying.
And Jimmy and Hayley's kitchen is also in turmoil.
Kitchen nightmare. Bum, bum, bum. I knew you were going to pull that face.
I always pull that face when you try and be funny.
I wasn't.
They've planned to do a marble splashback that wraps along 2 walls of the kitchen. But marble requires a particular type of saw to cut, which they haven't organised. And Tyler Fabian isn't happy.
You can't. Forget it.
He gets halfway through it and he goes, the tiles aren't cutting. I don't want to do it. My work is being jeopardised because I don't have the right tool here to do it.
It's got to be done with a wet saw.
So I get you a wet saw. It's freaking out.
You're not going to be able to get him a wet saw.
Okay.
It's Saturday, so they can't get a wet saw delivered. So Hayley comes up with a creative alternative that miraculously seems to work.
Boom.
But the victory is short-lived. Just as Jimmy wakes from his beauty sleep, 18 hours away from reveal, Fabian delivers the knockout blow. He's run out of tiles.
That's the last box. There's a lot of cuts, a lot of waste.
And being a Saturday, they can't get more delivered.
That was the worst thing that could have ever happened the night before reveal.
You know what we could do? It'll probably look effective. Go get one of the brown tiles from the bathroom floor. It might match the brown.
He said, why do you get that great big ugly tile that Dane and Leanne used? I call it ugly, not Fabian. It's making me feel sick because this is a beautiful kitchen and we're now about to slap in a makeshift tile job.
Yeah, no, what we'll do is we'll centre that. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I think that's the way to go.
Right.
Just do it. I'm happy with it, yep.
So they've decided to tile the corner with their herringbone marble and finish the rest of the splashback with the leftover tiles from Dane and Leanne's bathroom.
So we get these tiles and we decide to make a feature out of them rather than just slapping them on a bit of wall that doesn't make sense. It's a bit different. So instead of just not doing it at all, we're taking a risk and hopefully it pays off.
Over at the Blue House, the team has been working furiously trying to catch up after losing a full day from their dodgy paint job.
We thought we were ahead, but now we're going to be way behind, so we're going to have another late night and try and catch up. Watch your notes to the bobo, watch your notes.
But luckily, Lisa and John's dining room is nearly there, as is their kitchen, just in time for the delivery of John's controversial mirrored splashback.
I was least excited this week about the mirrored splashback.
John's had to fight tooth and nail to get this in. Lisa's concern was it didn't meet the homeowner's brief of low maintenance and easy cleaning.
I think it looks really good. It does.
Yeah.
We're getting married, yay!
Yeah.
Like it or not, it looks amazing.
I look hot in this mirror. Ooh, God, I look sick.
John might be loving himself sick right now, but he's got a long night ahead. It's the final stretch, just 4 hours until these homes are delivered to their homeowners. Our blue team are so exhausted, they're on another planet. Houston, we have a problem.
Oh. Got something, I don't know.
And while the blue team are working in zero gravity, over at the Western Reds, it's chaos.
Last 12 hours were ridiculous.
They were hell.
Steve and Holly have only just finished painting.
I do need the mattress, babe.
Coming now.
And amongst the bedlam, they've forgotten one vital thing.
We have just been told there's like 10 minutes to go. And I'm in the kitchen and I look over to my left and I see that empty living room and I was like, oh my God.
Yep, that would be the huge area the whole team were supposed to deliver.
I'm about to show you how to style a room in 15 minutes.
I can't even watch.
Putting that together, a big grey sofa out the back. Definitely thinking of that. Love your work, you guys are saving my ass.
I don't know who did the communal areas.
We were so busy doing our own stuff.
8 minutes.
Throw rug, buffet, European pillows.
4 minutes.
Thank you, boys.
2 minutes. 1 minute.
No wonder this thing didn't break. It's like bloody Alcatraz.
I need at least 30 seconds to put honey on my pancakes.
Toes down.
Oh my God.
Done.
Good job, Scotty.
We finally did it.
Backward pancake. Straight on the bed.
Coming up, our teams have worked so hard this week, but is it enough?
I think it was a really poor effort. I'm really sorry, and I'm going to give you a 4.
I'm going to give you a 4 as well.
It's judgment time for the Blues from the East versus the Reds from the West. And stakes are high, as the couple with the lowest scores on the losing house will be sent home. Our award-winning judges are international interior designers Colin and Justin, who've renovated over 1,000 rooms in hundreds of homes across Canada, Europe and Australia. They've written 3 top design books and hosted over 30 TV shows around the world.
Heart's racing, sweating, just so nervous.
I'll be devoted if it was us.
2 weeks in, and we've got a lot more to give.
I don't ever want to go home. Ever. Hope the judges feel the same.
We want to be here for the long haul.
Good evening, Rumblers.
Good evening, Scotty.
OK, boys, we're going to start off with the blue team, the team from the East. The Eastern Blues renovated the house of Christine and David this week, who've had more tragedy in their lives than any family should. They've lost 3 children to devastating car accidents, with daughter Nicole passing just a few weeks ago, leaving her 8-year-old son Blake in their care. Nothing can replace their lost children, but this new home will hopefully give them a chance to create new memories with their beautiful grandson. And before our judges walked through, Shelley and the blue team got to welcome them home.
And here they are. Let's head in.
We'll take you through. I hope they're going to love the spaces that we've created for them. They said to us they were really looking forward to a new beginning, so I think they're going to be really shocked when they see what we've done to the place. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. That's huge. Wow.
Right, that is just so unexpected. That is just beautiful.
It is.
Christine started crying, and then I started crying, and then everybody else started crying. Yeah, it was a really nice feeling. It was really good.
I've just got no words for this. You've just done an amazing job. As soon as I walked in the door, here's this beautiful table and light, and it is just us.
Us with a touch of elegance, I think.
Yeah, we're not that elegant.
I think we forgot that it was even a competition, the whole experience this week, because we made sure that we were putting the homeowners first. Everything was for them.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, isn't it? Oh, this is so gorgeous. Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
Is this your cupboard? No.
No, this is mine. So we're now in Nicole's old room.
With a lot more space.
With a lot more space. There's a lot more functionality there for a couple instead of someone with a disability. Someone asked me the other day, what's it like to lose a child? When you lose a child, in that moment, you think about all the memories that you've had with that child. And so we can be in that space with her, and now I'm attached to that. You ready for more? No.
I'm with you.
Oh, no way.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no way. How did you do that? Oh, my gosh. Oh. Oh, that is just... Oh, look at the lights.
That's just fantastic.
For Christine to see what happened in a week, she just couldn't believe it. And we just couldn't believe to see the facial expressions of both of them.
No need for holidays anymore. It's holidays to the bathroom.
Push it right open.
Right open.
The superheroes, I know how much my kids love them, so I knew that Blake would love them, and that's the first thing he saw when he walked in the room, and he was like, whoa!
Give the bed the test, Blake. Let's see how it goes. We were quite concerned because of his Asperger's, how he would react.
Blake doesn't like surprises, but yeah, he liked that one.
Do you want to see what's happened to your other bedroom?
Scott and Nadia also decided to renovate Blake's old room as a special gift from the heart.
We knew that Dave and Christine were looking into fostering more children as well, which is an amazing thing. So we thought, well, we can't not do that bedroom.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
That is just...
That's something special, yeah. We weren't expecting this at all. So...
that is just perfect, guys. We will fill this house up.
Yes, we will.
And you've made that possible. And life's given us a tough ride, and so to get out of that, we need to help others and bring people into our home that are just going to feel the gift that we've been given as well. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at the massive amount of space.
Yeah.
Big parties here.
Yeah. It just feels so nice. Well, you are standing in what was the kitchen. I know. The brown kitchen.
Did you ever imagine that it could actually become your dining room now? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And we knew you wanted natural light as well,
Yep.
so that's why when we head into the kitchen, you've got some more beautiful skylights, just letting all that light in.
Oh, look at that. The final space. The last frontier. Oh, no way. Oh, my God. What have you done? Go, Blake, go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, look at all this.
That back section for me and Blake, that was our little haven, and now it's been opened up. And he and I will be sitting on that couch playing Xbox and Lego and all of those things. We've discovered over the years that the thing that really makes life worthwhile is trying to help someone else. And I know you've learned something about that this week and as in your journey. So thank you so much. We've been through a lot, and and we needed some help. Thanks.
I'm attached to it, and I've been there for moments, where the other place I wasn't attached to it at all. It was just a space that was functional, and it was required for what Nicole needed. She would love this, and this has been the hardest week we've had to go through because she was meant to be here experiencing all this with us, and she would just be blown away. Go Blue.
Coming up, our judges are blown away, and not in a good way.
I had a little concern about the health and safety issue.
Well, it's never happened before, but the homeowners have rung me today and said it's got to go. Welcome back to Reno Rumble. Homeowners Christine and David were delighted with their new home. Now for our judges to have their say. OK, boys, we're going to start off with the blue team, the team from the east. Starting with the first room that you walk into from team captains Scott and Nadia, the lounge room. Team captains Scott and Nadia decided to take a different approach this week, making it all about communication.
It's a new week, it's a new house, new homeowners.
Of course.
So it's either the darker or the whitewash one. Just keeping everybody in the loop about every last detail.
As well as Blake's bedroom, they also had Nikki's old living room.
Because Dave and Christine said they were into meditation, I thought it'd be a great idea to have a little fireplace because they are very... You can sit and stare at it for hours like a fish tank.
But where there's smoke, there's fire. And the distrust from last week came back to haunt them.
I've got to go and get a fireplace.
The homeowners said to us they didn't want any fireplaces, and you know what?
Oh,
hang on.
So you didn't tell them on purpose?
The thought crossed my mind for a brief millisecond to tell them, and they went, no, don't. If we're the team to lose this week, they can go home over that.
I think we really did stick to the design brief. I was amazed. I didn't even realise we could deliver something like that.
Welcome, gentlemen. Come on in. Wow. To the brand new living space.
I mean, that is a serious transformation. You can't take that away from the renovators. What they've done here is absolutely stratospheric.
You only get one chance to make a first impression. And you guys made a great first impression. Honestly, you just walked into that space. The feeling of just like size, it felt tranquil. It was excellent. I really enjoyed being there.
That's an exterior product, isn't it?
It is, yes.
I love the attempt at adding texture, but this would have been much better as a rough rendered concrete finish. They could have perhaps tied in the visual depth of that faux concrete on the little console. Also, I have to tell you, I had a little concern about the health and safety issue of that fireplace. With a little guy in that house, I think he's 8 years of age, I felt that that fireplace was potentially an issue.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Scott and Nadia. You know, throughout the week, that fireplace and the safety issue with Blake came up with Shelley and I and walk-arounds earlier. I have to tell you, it's never happened before, but the homeowners have rung me today and they want that fireplace out.
Guilty face on this one?
Yeah.
Was that not brought up by the homeowners before? Did they not communicate that to you?
No one said to us, you're not supposed to have a fireplace.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
Literally, they rang me this afternoon and said, it's got to go.
You were just like... I was like, go on.
Anyway, boys, have we got some scores?
Wow. Well, OK, like Scott and Nadia, I was going to give you a 7, but I think because of the fireplace... sorry, I'm going to give you a 5. Sorry.
I'm kind of with Colin here. You have to have the courage of your own convictions. You've got to deliver the product that's safe and beautiful, form and function at all times. I was going to give you a 6. You took 2 points off. I'm going to do the same, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm going to give you a 4.
Not a good start for Scott and Nadia, with 9 out of 20 for their living room. Now, I know, Scott and Nadia, you're saying you didn't know the homeowners didn't want a fireplace, but I can tell you that someone in your team did know that they did not want a fireplace. And I'll leave it at that.
Interesting. At the end of the day, it is a competition. Scott and I take it as a competition that we want our whole team to win. Clearly, other team members don't have the same thought process that we do. It's a massive disappointment.
Her horns are just popping up through her hair right now.
Who?
Yeah, who is this girl? She was lovely when we left Mount Isa.
Into the master bedroom, the girls from Mount Isa, Sarah and Renee. With the Cowgirls getting the lowest score last week.
We're going back to Mount Isa.
There is no elimination this week. This week, they had a lot to prove. Having the bathroom and master bedroom, they pulled out all the stops.
We're thinking about extending a wall to here and actually using that top space as the whole bathroom. High heels. Oh, Cinderella.
It's really good. I'm going into this judging thinking I'm not predicting a single thing.
So this is the master bedroom.
Indeed. So this was Nikki's room, now given back to Christine and David.
I'm always going to be honest, I didn't like it. I loved it. It was a triumph.
You gotta stop giving me heart attacks.
Now, the pink, the pale green, the kind of the chambray bedding, the minty colour of the throw, that's a very, very successful bed. Because it was so good, it kind of really made more of the fact that the window wasn't what it could have been. They've obviously had to fight the fact that there's a bay window here. And because they've wrapped the curtain from the bay and onto the wall, it looks kind of weird. I would have corrected that by doing this. Roman blinds in each of the 3 windows, and then I'd have taken the curtain and run it right along the top elevation there, rather than try and bend in and out and then back out of the bay and onto the wall.
But the thing is, when it came to storage, you guys totally had it.
Oh, wow. How many feet does David have? Is he the human centipede?
He did stress that he had a lot of shoes.
He loves his shoes, doesn't
Yes.
he?
OK, we've got some scores, boys.
I'm going to give you a size 7.
I'm going to give you a size 7 as well.
Oh, yeah,
Another 7. Good score, girls. That's 14 for the girls' first room, putting them ahead of Scott and Nadia by 5 points. OK, moving on to the second space for the girls, the main bathroom.
My favourite thing would be the bathtub, which you could look out the skylight. Yeah, I think we nailed it.
Well, hopefully there's no one in there. OK, so same team working on this while they were doing the master, and that's what we're dealing with.
Wow.
Good Aussie bathroom.
It's the bathroom that every Australian home has, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, it's functional, but this... Do you know what? It's gone from functional to functional fantastic. That bathroom rocked my world.
The fact the windows have gone would normally be an odd thing, but they've balanced that with the addition of the Velux windows up there, so the room is flooded with light.
Yes.
Look how great that little pop of wood looks in here. Imagine had those chrome towel bars over there been wood. The little timber touches would really have elevated a good room and made it a brilliant room. But blimey, what a successful transformation.
We're all about functionality. There's one function that's missing.
A crapper.
There's no toilet. It's separate.
Where's your crapper?
Oh, I love that.
Well, this was a 3-room space. So we had the bathroom, there's also the laundry and the WC.
Are we going to have a little look? Well, let's have a peek.
You know, look, for a family, it was absolutely perfect.
Self-contained, it was all business, but it's really well thought through. I thought that worked really well.
OK, we're ready for some scores, boys, for the main bathroom?
Scott, we certainly
We are indeed, my lovely girls. You were awash with success this week, so I'm giving you an 8.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. And it's a great score. I'm just going to really tailor that slightly because I had a couple of issues, but I'm going to give you a 7, which I think is a score to be proud of, girls.
Thank you.
Yeah,
really
score
proud
out of 15 out of 20. Well done. That brings the girls to a whopping 29 points for their 2 rooms, which means Scott and Nadia will need perfect 10s for their final room to be safe this week. A tough ask, with no thanks to their Mount Isa teammates.
Let's just pretend it didn't happen.
Welcome back to Reno Rumble. The blue team's first 3 rooms have been judged. The girls are on top with 29 points. But after being burnt by the judges and teammates for the fireplace in their lounge room, Scott and Nadia are going to need perfect 10s for Blake's room to stay alive this week. OK, moving on to Blake's room. Scott and Nadia, your second space.
A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of you and me gonna touch the sky.
Now, channel the boy within, which I can't imagine will be too difficult for the 2 of you. Well, that's what he would have had.
Yeah, exactly. But now he's got bam, pow, wow, smack, crash.
I got the party!
It was a great drama the minute you walked into the room. Colin's touched on the masks, obviously, sham, bam, pow. Did I do that as excitedly as you did? No, it's a bit of a...
I don't think there's any superhero who says sham, bang, pow.
Maybe we should invent one.
It was lacking a little layer.
With the exception of the wall, it's a very plain room. There's a wooden floor and white walls, and that's really all they've done in here.
Can you give this team a little extra consideration, because they also did another space next door, which was Blake's old room.
Okay.
It wasn't something that we were going to do, but the fact that Christine and David mentioned in passing that they may take in a foster child in the near future, they decided to do that room as well.
Oh my God, Shelley!
I know, so that's 3 spaces.
Oh no! Can I have a little peek?
Of course,
Can
of
we?
course,
Let's
yes,
go
yes.
see. Oh, that's a cute little room.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, it's a bonus.
Isn't it?
Okay, it's a bonus.
It's a bonus. We can't give you extra points for the room next door, but you
No.
did that as a little bonus room and, you know, a great nod of approval from us because you went the extra mile. It's really nice to know that you did it.
OK, scores, boys.
It's a 6 from me.
And I'll draw you 6 as well, a 6 from me for that one.
12 points for Blake's room gives Scott and Nadia a total of 21, which means the Mount Isa girls are safe.
Our smiles say it all. We're here for another week.
And Lisa and John are the team to beat. Now we're on to Lisa and John in the dining room. First time tonight.
Yay!
Newlyweds Lisa and John had the kitchen and dining this week.
I just heard in there that Christine is a mad cook.
Yes.
Yes, loves cooking, so this better be something she
We're going to deck it out for you, don't worry about that.
Functional and easy to clean.
With form and function a priority, they set out to create their dream areas.
So we're going to keep it one level.
Everything was going well until the choice of splashback had to be made.
It's gonna be really hard to clean, and she's not gonna like it. It's about form and function. How many times have they repeated that over and over? But you know what? It's your problem, not mine.
I don't think there's much out of the 2 rooms that doesn't excite me. I think the things that Lisa had picked with the dining table and the pendants are great. So we just can only hope the judges feel the same way.
Now, this was hard to ignore on the way in, but now you get to take a really good look.
It's just great, isn't it? I mean, the continuous flooring from the front to the back just gives this room such presence, doesn't it? And the table is beautiful. A delicious table without any food on it. It was still delicious. Oh.
It was.
The thing that I don't like about this, we have actually a fairly wide room, OK? But at the moment, it feels like a corridor to me with a table in here. Now, had this table been brought that way, we could have had a long, narrow dresser at the other side. Just something else that would have made it feel much more like a room, rather than a passageway to the kitchen with a dining table in the middle.
OK, scores, boys, for the dining room.
It's a 6 from me.
A little bit lower for me, it's a 5. OK?
It wasn't as much as I hoped to receive. Yeah, it was a little hard to take.
With 11 out of 20 for their dining room, they'll need at least that for their kitchen to beat Scott and Nadia. We're going to stay with Lisa and John for the kitchen.
I can honestly say our 2 areas would have been the best room. And not just because they're ours, like, I'm so proud of it. It's beautiful, I love it, and I think it's a winner this week.
You know, it's all about continuity and connectivity, isn't it? You know, when you pick up a colour and actually draw it through different spaces. And I love the fact that they've actually picked up the timber from the table and used it on the stools here. And I think those rustic stools really do us a favour in this space, because sometimes with gloss and stone, you need to soften it up with some good old timber.
It's really lovely, but it's really hard-edged. The shiny doors, the shiny mirrors, everything just felt a little bit too reflective. Imagine we had broken the beat and had some timber veneer on the doors. Something like that would have made a better job of providing, as you said, the wooden touches than the small bar-top stools do.
Look, I understand their comments, how they said it was a bit glossy. It's not everybody's cup of tea. And yes, they want to see some texture and some different materials built into the kitchen, which we'll take on board.
There's a lot of smart stuff in here. You know, the long, deep drawers, and I love the mirrors. It's quite narrow, and it's great to have the mirrors there to bounce the natural light.
But there's
Do you
too
like
much.
them?
I love them.
Yeah, Shelley, I'm going to tell you the truth. I really like the mirror as well, but I just think there's too much reflection everywhere you look. It's just a personal taste thing. I just felt one layer of gloss too many.
I love the mirrors. If you try to check your hair in a tile.
I know, that's
honestly,
Check your look.
Shelley and I were there all day.
OK, we've got a score, boys?
Yes! A delicious kitchen deserves a delicious eat.
Ah, thank you.
Do you know what? I'm going to give it a 7.
Thank
So it's a
you.
7 for your kitchen.
Wow, good score. That's 15 for their kitchen, giving John and Lisa a total of 26 for their 2 rooms, guaranteeing them a place here next week.
Live to fight another day, a week.
Oh, it's a relief. You have no idea.
With only the communal area left to judge for the Blues, that means Scott and Nadia are the lowest scoring couple and will be going home if the blue team lose, just like the Mount Isa girls had planned.
Oh, Sarah.
So that's a conversation we have to do now with Scott and Nadia.
But do we, or do we just leave it?
I reckon just leave it.
Final room for the blue team is the room they all worked on together, boys, which was the games room and office out the back.
Ta-da!
I was happy with the common area, but I could have been happier.
There was some things that could have been done better and executed better. We'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully the judges are kind.
I am a boy who hates collections. Because the only thing I ever collect is dust. But you actually took Blake's collection and you showcased it. So that was a great little zone. But the office is a letdown, isn't it? You know?
The most basic home office, it should have a good, wide desk. Here we've got maybe 20 inches, so it's really tight. So by the time I've got a laptop here or a keyboard there, I'm really congested up against the available space.
Yeah, their comments were very valid about the office. I mean, it's a workspace and it didn't work.
It wasn't functional as a workspace.
Wouldn't it be great if this had been an entire wall of storage?
Absolutely.
This is where you actually can garner so many points, and they've just missed an opportunity here.
OK, some scores, boys, for the office and games room.
I think it was a really poor effort. I'm really sorry, and I'm going to give you a 4 for that collective 4.
That's really mean, Colin. But I'm similarly mean, I'm afraid. I'm going to give you a 4 as well.
OK, blue team, that is 8 out of 20 for the common room. That gives you a total score for the week of 84. And if the red team beat that total score, Scott and Nadia will be going home tonight.
That's disappointing because of the effort we put in. And, you know, that hurts, so.
If you're loving the kitchens you're seeing from our Rumble teams, well, you are going to love this. Freedom Kitchens is giving you the chance to win your very own designer kitchen installed in your home. The whopping 20 grand prize includes everything from design to quality cabinets, Caesar stone benchtops, appliances and installation. All you have to do is tell us why you think you should win a new Freedom Kitchen for your home. Enter now on the Reno Rumble Facebook page and good luck.
You got me begging you for blood.
Welcome back to Reno Rumble. Judges have just gone through the Eastern Blues house, giving them a team total of 84 out of 140. With Scott and Nadia on the lowest scores and leaving tonight if the blue team lose. Now for the Western Reds. 2 people that have helped Christine and David over the past few years are Chris and Kate. Volunteers and shift workers in emergency services, these 2 have dedicated their lives to helping others.
Doing this house for the beautiful young family that we've just done it for is just heartwarming. It's just going to change their lives.
They're very, very deserving of something like this.
Now we get to say thank you for everything they do. Oh, it's very exciting.
Unbelievable.
It's happening.
Yay!
Oh, Lada, you're excited.
I'm super excited.
Well, they're very tired. They've been working flat out. And look here, they are. Shall we do it?
Yes.
OK, let's go. The red team have had their work cut out for them, turning a rabbit warren into an open plan house.
We're super wrapped with the house this week, and I think our homeowners are going to be absolutely blown out of the water. I think they're going to absolutely love it, and I hope they do because they're so deserving of this.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
Look.
Wow. From the first moment we opened that door, I didn't recognise it. Mind-blowing. Oh my gosh.
Biggest kitchen we've ever seen.
Oh, this
Oh
is
my God.
gorgeous.
It's beautiful, guys.
How do you say thank you for something like this? This
You
is
don't
just...
need to. You guys
Don't
do enough.
need to.
You do enough.
It's just wonderful.
Kate got very emotional about the kitchen, and so did I, actually.
She just couldn't believe it had happened to her and for her and her family.
Well, what about we go and have a look at the master bedroom?
We set our sights on wowing them this week.
Wow!
Oh, wow. Just beautiful.
Oh, glad.
Yeah. It's just extraordinary that within 2 years of moving in, that we're now in this position to have the home that we've probably always dreamed of having. Oh, the size of that shower. There's no way that we would have had the time nor the budget to get the result that these guys have achieved for us.
Wow! We've got one there and one up there for you, David.
Wow! Magical. Oh.
What do you think, DJ?
Awesome.
Awesome.
It's a very good choice of word you just used there. Have a look at your pillow.
Awesome.
There you go.
Yes.
You are going to love that, Damon.
Let's go and have a look at the main bathroom.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, guys.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal job. Look at this bath, and it's not pink. The contestants, whilst they're competing against each other, it's amazing how they've made it all look like one beautiful house.
Well, we could have Christmas here. Like, we can use this space.
Everyone in the
We've
one
got-
spot.
Yeah, just wonderful. We're going to cherish that space.
Yeah.
So when we bought this home, intending to live in it for the next 20+ years, you know, till the kids leave us. We just can't wait to enjoy this space with our family and our friends.
All right, red team, it's now your turn. Let's start with the common room, the front lounge room.
When you first walk in and you see that communal 7th room, it's not... I wish that was at the back of the house so it wasn't the first thing you had to see. It could have had a lot more love put into it.
All right. Oh, all right.
Oh.
Okay.
Where's the furniture go?
I walked in and I felt there'd been a robbery, a burglary. Some deviant had broken in and taken everything worth having.
Where's the decor?
I don't know what's happened.
So this was a communal space. It feels more like a crisis relief centre to me.
Dear.
A tiny, disproportionately small sofa in front and behind of pretty much nothing. This is an emotional and a decorative flatline.
It was like you had run through there, dropped a sofa, run against the wall, stuffed a telly up there, and then run for cover screaming.
That is literally what happened.
Look, it's obvious they did a lot of structural work.
Well, do you know what? It's a good point to talk about the structural element because obviously the wall's gone. They've put all their money into structure, which is good advice when you're not doing a TV show and when you haven't got a week to finish.
OK, boys, have we got some scores?
Guys, it's a terrible start. It's a 4.
It's a 4 for me as well, I'm afraid.
Slow start for the Reds, with only 8 out of 20 for their team area.
The communal room got a bit of a bad rap. We knew that was going to happen. We had so many more rooms this week and such a tight budget, and it was left out and left at the last minute.
OK.
Let's get through this.
Not a good start for the red team, and as you know, Dane and Leanne have immunity this week. So if you don't lift your games, one of you two guys on the ends there are going to be going home. Let's move into the kitchen. House captains Hayley and Jim. As team captains this week, Hayley and Jimmy had the kids' bedroom and kitchen to make over. A decision they were initially excited about.
Here we go again, eh?
Until reality sunk in.
Hayley, this is a very bad situation.
Oh! Choosing to upgrade Chris and Kate's small green kitchen to a huge open-plan space required a whole lot of work.
It was a monster of a job.
It's a monster. It's a surprise that the team captains have such a huge area for a kitchen to go into. The judges, I think, will look at how you use that big space.
The kitchen was definitely our favourite piece because it just looks so good and it's got a sparkling water thing.
Is this the biggest kitchen in Australia?
Maybe.
I mean, there were 30 cupboards in there.
Was there?
The kitchen that they've picked is beautiful. I love the kind of timber handles. I love this wall of wood as well.
And I like the change from the white on the lower level to the darker wood veneer on top. I just keep coming back to those bonkers tiles. The transition of the tile from one area to the next, breaking in style, halfway down one run. I don't understand that. I don't know if they've tried to make a statement, but if they have, it's a complete and utter turn-off for me.
What happened? You ran out of tiles.
No.
That wasn't a choice thing.
Tell the truth.
We ordered over 20% for wastage, but we had no idea that when you do herringbone, it's like 30 or 40% wastage.
Because it just goes... Got some scores, boys? I'm going to give you a 6.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what I would have given you had I not seen that tiling. I'd have given you a 9, but I give you a 7, so I think you've done well with a 7, actually.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Reno Rumble. All right, let's move into the master bedroom and walk-in robe with Holly and Steve. This week, Holly and Steve had to redo 3 areas: the master bedroom, walk-in robe and ensuite.
They didn't actually have an enormous amount of space to work with.
It's, you know, it's a bit too intimate when someone's in bed here and someone's using the bathroom.
So actually, rather than opening it out, separate it a bit more.
Yeah.
Making the bold decision to steal space from the master for a large walk-in robe. But trying to cater to the shift-working homeowners set them back, both with time...
Yeah, look, the build's behind.
...and budget.
Curtains, I reckon, are going to come in about 2,000. They said it has to be pitch black.
They are in deep trouble if they think they can get away with styling that for $700.
The parts of the rooms that we're most excited about is how the 3 spaces work together. You can walk from the master through the walk-in robe without it feeling like you're walking through the middle of a robe.
Right, high hopes. High hopes.
Oh, high hopes, but very small hopes.
So this is the master bedroom.
Yes, it is.
The room that should be big and welcoming and commodious and luxurious and well-appointed.
Yes.
And it wasn't even a mistress bedroom. There was nothing masterful about it. You know, it felt like a 2nd or 3rd bedroom.
If you're short on space, you've got to find ways of deflecting attention, so luxury.
Well, look, Holly and Steve were also responsible for the walk-in wardrobe and the ensuite.
So the homeowners wanted a kind of dressing room that they could both use separately when one was sleeping because of night shift and stuff. So you actually satisfied that quite well. But again, I kept looking at this and thinking, OK, if I'd moved all the walls in here, why would I actually have such a large dressing room and such a tiny master bedroom?
They've impacted on scale in there, benefited on storage, but those 2 aspects together haven't worked.
OK, scores for the master bedroom walk-in robe, boys.
It's a 5 for me.
It's a 5 for me as well, guys.
OK, out of a score of 20, 10 points. OK, let's stay with Holly and Steve for their second space, the ensuite.
Oh, please be an ensuite and not be an en-sour. I mean, come on, this is better. There's a lot of good in here, and I love the timber touches as well. You know, there's a nice vibe in here. The skylight's really dominant, floods this with great light, natural light. I really liked it. Isn't it nice to be in a bathroom with natural light so you can truly see how you look?
Wonderful use of the modesty wall here, which is the passageway through to the dressing area for your crapper. I have to bring your attention, though, to they haven't graded the shower into the drain properly. Had that been a gradual slope in from that level, the trip hazard would have been removed.
OK, scores, boys?
My score for the ensuite is 6.
Mine would have been 7 or maybe even 8 had you not had that trip hazard, but I'm still giving you a 6. A 6 from me.
That's 12 for their ensuite, giving Holly and Steve a total score of 22. And a team total so far of 43. With just 3 rooms to go, the red team desperately needs points. It's going to be close. It's very tight as it is right now between blue and red. Now, Dane and Leanne, let's kick off with your main bathroom. Being captains of the winning house last week, Dane and Leanne were granted immunity. As well as the living and dining, they had the main bathroom.
Where do you think your bathroom would best suit no idea or
We've been
up to
discussing
us.
it for years and we can't work it out, so good luck to you guys.
Deciding to shift it from the middle of the house, squeezing it in between the ensuite and kids' room.
Bathtub, light, open spaces, decor, everything they wanted, we nailed it.
This is a really strong space, and I'll tell you why I love it. Every scheme should have certain things. This has got two tones, okay, very clearly demarcated by the back wall and the side wall. Lots of wood as well, and then it's got a pop of colour. It really works for me, and I feel as if I've come to a bathroom that I would have been very proud of had we been involved in its design.
With Justin saying that he loved it so much he'd like to put his name on the door, I don't think you get a higher compliment than that.
Yeah.
Scores? It's a 7 from me this week.
I'm going to give you a bathroom an 8 because I really liked it. I really loved the bathroom.
An impressive 15 points for Dane and Leanne's main bathroom, boosting the team total to 58. OK, back to house captains Hayley and Jim for the kids' bedroom. Hayley and Jimmy will need at least 10 points out of 20 for their kids' room to climb out of bottom position.
We didn't come here to go home first. We didn't come here to go home at all. We want to go all the way to the end.
All right, so house captains Hayley and Jim, who also did the kitchen, we're in charge of this one.
Wow, it's the James and the Giant Peach room, isn't it? It's so 80s. Peach. Why peach?
Tried to pick a gender-neutral colour for that wall.
I actually think the colour was OK in that room.
I don't mind that in here somehow, and I think in children's rooms the rules are far more flexible.
You know, it's functional, this, isn't it? You know, 2 generous bunks, loads of storage as well, but it's really pedestrian. And I don't want to rain on a princess's bedroom at all, but it feels dated.
Oh, come on, Colin, don't be unnecessarily unkind.
That's the second time they said pedestrian.
I don't know what that is. It's very people walk around in here.
Coming up,
scores, boys.
It's East versus West, and with one room to go, it's up to Dane and Leanne to save their team.
There can only be one winner, and in this heat, somebody has to go home.
Welcome back to the Reds' final rooms for judging. Tonight, the lowest scoring couple on the losing team will be going home. For the Blues, that's Scott and Nadia.
We'll be devastated if we're going home.
And it's down to the wire for the Reds. Hayley and Jimmy versus Holly and Steve. Hayley and Jimmy need 10 out of 20 for their bedroom to be safe.
It's really nerve-wracking.
Scores, boys. It's a 5 from me.
I think that's a bit tight, Colin, I have to say. I'm actually going to give you a 7 for that room.
Thank you.
That puts them ahead of Steve and Holly, who have the lowest score on the red team.
It's way too early to go home. I just don't feel it's time.
Nadia and Scott are the lowest on the Blues with 21 and will be going home tonight if their team loses. The results all hinge on this final room, which ironically was done by the one couple with immunity. They'll need 15 points out of 20 to save their team. Final room for Dane and Leanne, the lounge and dining area.
All right, the last area of the Red House. Previously.
This is how we do, yeah. Chillin' laid back, street stuntin', yeah, we do it like that. This is how we do.
I actually rather like this. I have to say, I think the pops of colour really energise. The yellow pops in the rug, the yellow pop on the little tables, again on the cushion.
I love yellow, so when I walked in there, I felt instantly connected to the space.
At the same time, it feels a bit, I don't know, imbalanced. This feels really sparse, very empty, whereas this feels a little bit layered. It was like that room was designed by 2 people who didn't speak to each other, because the kind of sitting room looked young and poppy, and then suddenly you got to the wall shelves near the dining room, and it felt you were suddenly getting a kind of country look.
Well, I can reassure you, we have two very happy homeowners. The red team love their place, the blue team love their place.
It is tough, because again, two miraculous makeovers, and if someone did this in your space, it would absolutely change your lives. But obviously, it's a competition as well.
Whether Colin's decision and my decision are the same remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. And in this heat, somebody has to go home.
You got some scores, boys?
Yes, we do, Scott.
Yeah, it's a 6 from me.
And it's a 6 from me as well. I think that's a fair score.
That means the winner is the blue team, who scored 84.
Well done, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
Very close. Leanne and Dane's score of 12 brings the Reds' final score to 82, losing by just 2 points against the Blues with a score of 84. Red team, unfortunately, you guys are the losers this week. Hayley and Jim, you scored 25. Holly and Steve, you scored 22. So, unfortunately, that means that you guys are leaving us here tonight. We are all extremely sad to see you guys go.
It's sad, but it's a competition. Someone's going to have to go. Every week it's not going to get any easier. We're thankful for the experience we had.
And the people that we met, and to be able to do houses for people who really, deserve it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, baby.
It is what it is. What it is. Sums it up.
We're gonna miss you guys so much.
See you guys.
Only know you love her when you let her go.
This week on Reno Rumble,
That is not good.
while building challenges continue to escalate, it's going to get much harder to stay alive. The blue team is racked by strategy and suspicion.
We know they're the weakest link.
Our team members, yet again, have been working against us.
We've got to keep them on until last. As per usual, Scotty and I are getting space taken off us.
I don't want them to have the upper hand anymore.
And storms quickly gather as besties become frenemies.
I'm not going to have you be sick and then dictate to me.
I was just expressing my feelings.
No, and I'm expressing mine.
Whilst over at the red team, a long simmering feud comes to a head.
Everybody stops.
What do you want me to do?
Pick up a crowbar.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, mate.
Get a crowbar, man.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, mate. You've been out the front on here FaceTiming your missus all day.
All day? Oi, don't insult my work ethic, man.
It's your kitchen!
Tools down.
God, I can't believe that's over.
I'm a hot mess.
Luckily for our deserving homeowners, brilliant houses are still delivered.
Wow, wow, wow.
Design-wise, our judges are left both pleased
Suddenly, there was someone who was serious about the competition.
and perplexed.
Why did you decide to do it that way?
And one more couple is eliminated.